Hello, and today in this tutorial, I'm going to be talking about ED and ING endings on adjectives, which I know from experience that can be a bit of a confusing issue for some of you guys learning English. So, just to demonstrate this point, quite a lot of adjectives you can add either an ed ending or an ing ending. So, for example, we have interested, interesting, tired, tiring, excited, exciting, surprised, surprising, bored, boring, disappointed, disappointing, embarrassed, embarrassing. So if you're sitting there thinking, I'm not sure what the difference is between interested and interesting, then this tutorial is going to be helpful for you guys. So first, let's talk about ED adjectives. So ED adjectives are normally used to describe feelings and emotions. So, who or what has feelings and emotions? Well, it's people, it's animals, it's living things in general. Normally, objects don't have feelings and emotions. I hope you agree. So, can a book feel excited? Excited being an emotion? No, it can't. Can a book feel proud? No, of course not. Can a building be embarrassed with an ED? Embarrassed is a feeling, an emotion. So, no, a building can't feel this. And can a building feel the emotion of being unhappy? No. So, remember, ED adjectives, they can only ever be used with living things or things that have feelings and emotions. So, just to help you remember this, okay, this is Ted. I don't know who this lovely lady is in this picture, but this is Ted with and notice here with an ED. So, Ted is very emotional. And here are some of the emotions that Ted sometimes feels. So, apologies for Ted's bad acting skills. But can you think of an ED adjective that might describe how Ted feels in these pictures? Okay, so just take a moment and think about it. What words might you use? And don't worry if they're different from the ones I have here, because, I'm not sure how clear Ted's emotions are. We have excited, maybe. We have shocked or surprised. We have bored. We have scared or frightened. And we have tired. So all of these adjectives are ED because they're describing emotions, because Ted, a person, is very emotional. Okay, so that's my way of trying to help you remember. So ED, people, emotions. All right. So now let's talk about ING adjectives. So these are adjectives we use to describe things, objects, places, experiences, or sometimes people that give another living thing or a group of living things a feeling or emotion. Okay, so they affect how someone is feeling, perhaps. So here in this picture, we've got a girl and she's reading a book. So it's the book, the thing, the object that is interesting. Okay, this book is interesting because it makes the girl feel interested. Okay, so you see there how the book is interesting because it makes the girl feel interested. All right, so that is when we use the ing adjectives. So very often, as I said, for things, objects, places, and experiences. Here's another example of a place, okay, that we might want to describe this place. So this is a town in England called Tring, which I think you can agree looks very nice. So Tring, the town, is interesting. Okay, it makes people feel interested when they visit, but the town itself is interesting. It's surprising. There's lots of different things to see there that you might not expect. So you can say it's surprising. Inspiring, perhaps, yeah? Some beautiful buildings to look at and shops to visit. And fascinating, okay? It has a very interesting or fascinating history behind it. So Tring is a town, and therefore we have to use ing adjectives to describe it, because a town cannot have emotions, it can't have feelings, so it must be ing. Now, as I've said before, ed adjectives can describe people, ing adjectives can describe things. But in some cases, we can use the words to describe both the person. Well, we can describe people as having the emotion, but also affecting others with an emotion. So this little girl here, what do you think she's feeling? What's her emotion? So I've said she's frightened. Okay, so feeling or emotion, like Ted, she has the ed ending. Why is she frightened? Da, da, da. Here we have a very frightening person. Yeah, they're dressed up looking extremely frightening. So frightening because they are affecting what this little girl is feeling. All right, so people can sometimes use both the ed or ing adjectives depending on if it's the feeling that they have or it's making others around them feel this. Good. And just to finish off this little tutorial, also remember that although ed endings and ing endings are common here in some of these adjectives, as you can see, it's not always possible if you see an ed ending just to add the ing. So perhaps we could say the girl here is scared too. Now you might think, okay, so we can describe this person as scaring. Unfortunately not. So it doesn't always work that you can simply change the ed ending to an ing or vice versa. So just keep that in mind. However, once you get the hang of the difference between the ed and ing adjectives, it will click, and I'm sure you'll be describing people and objects and experiences with confidence really soon. Okay, if you have any questions at all, you can always drop me a comment. I'm always happy to help out if something isn't clear or if you had a question about this. And if you liked this tutorial, if you enjoyed it, please sign up to my newsletter. Okay, my tutorials will always go out in my newsletter as a priority, and then after that will trickle down through my social media. However, if you want to be absolutely sure that you see it and you receive it, please sign up. The address is here, subscribepage.com/English classes with Sam. I try to include lots of interesting tips and ideas in these emails, so well worth a read. And of course, you can unsubscribe at any time. All right, I think that's it for now. Have a great morning, evening, afternoon, day, whatever it is you're doing, and see you again soon. Bye for now.